Good morning, friends. Hope you're doing great. I just got back in from a nice chilly walk. It's actually really refreshing going out in the snow and the cold weather. Sometimes you kind of get that nice invigorated feeling. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I want to share in this episode the untold danger of one-on-one coaching. Now, if you're listening to this or watching this, you kind of know my whole spiel with one-on-one coaching. Just to recap, in case you're unfamiliar with it, I don't believe one-on-one coaching is the best way for you to grow your business, nor does it serve your clients at the highest possible level. And not only from a financial perspective, which is what I talk about quite a bit, but I also in this video, in this episode, I want to walk you through one untold reason why one-on-one coaching is actually not good for you or for your clients. And also think of this in the context of you looking to hire a coach. We've had conversations with people in the past where they're like, this sounds great, but I think I really need a one-on-one coach. And I want to address that right here. Obviously, I've told my team about this before. Is the whole, why do we think we need a one-on-one coach, right? Why do we think we need a one-on-one coach? For what? Let me give you some context. I am the type of person that if I do a course, I will crush the course. Now, assuming that I've paid enough money for it, that I'm actually vested in terms of there's some kind of skin in the game. I don't need I don't need the hand holding that some other people might need. And I understand that not everyone is like that. But at the same time, if you need someone to hold your hand every step of the way, I want to challenge you on that, because here's why one-on-one coaching is something I just want you to think of from your own perspective. If you're looking to hire a coach, why it's actually not that great for you. And then I want you to think of how this applies to your clients. Okay. So let's say that you engage a coach one-on-one for whatever reason, apparently they're going to help you with your marketing and growing your business. First and foremost, if you're working with a one-on-one coach who's going to help you build your business and create the systems and marketing in place, here's my question. Why don't they have that built out so that they're not relied on one-on-one coaching? Do you know what I'm saying? If someone is going to show you how to build systems in your business to bring and generate revenue, and if they're a one-on-one, if they're a solo-preneur, if they're a one-on-one show, that's a little bit of a warning flag, right? If someone really knew how to do this stuff, wouldn't they be doing it? If someone's going to show you how to build a one-on-one coaching business, then sure, follow that person's advice. But that's the first reason, is that if someone's going to show you something in terms of building out a business, which is not a one-on-one, a solopreneur type of operation, a business revolves around systems and people, then how does a one-on-one coach really help with that? Now, I understand there's different levels. Obviously, you can work with a consultant in more of a one-on-one fashion, but that's the first thing, is are they actually walking the talk? Second is you or that coach, you are reliant on that one coach for everything. And that means, just think from the coach's perspective or from your perspective as a coach, anything that goes awry, they're responsible for dealing with. So you have issues that you need to turn to them. Anything happens, they're the cog in the wheel. And if you're coaching one-on-one with your clients, then you're that same person too. Anything that they need, they turn to you. Everything you deliver comes from you. Now, here's the other side of that coin is what happens if this coach gets divorced or they're going through a bad time in their life? Guess who is going to feel the short end of that stick? You. Right? So you are going to be the recipient of all the emotional stuff happening in their life. And listen, I've worked with thousands of entrepreneurs, and I can tell you that most of them are not cool cucumbers. It takes a very special person to remain calm amidst chaos. And most people aren't that way. And so if that's the type of coach you're going to work with, you're taking on the risk of what happens if this person's life goes to crap. And now you have to deal with that, right? They're going to show up in bad moods. They may go rogue, who knows, right? So the risk is not mitigated It's relying on one person. Now, if you think of the flip side to this, is if you work with a coaching program, like for instance, in our case, we have 10 coaches, I think. We've got 10 coaches. So there's myself and 10 other coaches, Facebook ad coaches, copy coaches, mindset coaches, accountability coaches, the whole spectrum. And what that means is that let's say I lose my voice because I did too many podcasts, or let's say I got sick for a day, or let's say that I'm on an airplane. Guess who doesn't suffer? Our clients. Because we've got 10 incredible coaches who are amazing at what they do to help our clients. Now, think of it this way. If I was, everyone wants to work with the big honcho, right? So let's say I'm the figurehead or the face of the business. You want to work with me. Listen, you're going to work with me. You're going to get a lot of me, okay? Either way. Not like every single day, but you'll get enough of me where you're like, okay, Yuri, I'm good. I'm going to work with the rest of your team in the meantime. Plus, okay, so I'll come back to that in a second. So let's say if I was the only person who's doing the coaching in my business, which it started out that way back in the day, but if I was the only person, now I have to do all the calls. I have to show up full energy all the time, right? I have to be on top of my game all the time. And there's only so much of that anyone can do. And eventually you're going to break. I will break, right? And so that's why if you're considering working with a coach one-on-one, you need to consider these factors, because we think that a one-on-one coach is going to give us more love and attention. But the reality is that they simply haven't systemized their business properly so that they can remove themselves out of that type of role. I think the only time a one-on-one coaching relationship makes sense is where there is some type of deep emotional stuff that needs to be worked on. And that, that's more of like a one-on-one type of conversation, right? So so think about this with your clients too, right? Like initially you're probably going to, actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to show this to you. This would make a lot more sense probably. So if I can bring this up on the screen, I don't know if I can. One sec. All right, Yuri's iPad. Give me a second here. All right, so hopefully you can see this on the screen. All right, so here's what I'm gonna map this out for you. I'm gonna draw another pyramid, if you like, another triangle, and there's 3 divisions. Okay, and now again, this is the progression. The reason I'm using a triangle is because it's the progression. We all start at the bottom and move our way to the top. At the bottom, and if you're listening to this and you don't see the video, you probably want to watch the video after on YouTube or something. Everyone starts off as a one-on-one coach for the most part, right? So you're going to coach clients one-on-one to get proof of concept. Does this work? Can I actually help people? Maybe I'm in a clinic, maybe I'm online, it doesn't matter. But most of that relationship is going to be one-on-one. Now, there's going to get to a point where you're going to realize that this very quickly leads to burnout because you can't scale more than 24 hours in a day. Like even if you never slept, the maximum is 24 hours in a day. So this leads to burnout, which is, not ideal. So then the next piece is we go one to many. Is instead of working with one-on-one clients, now you work with 1 to 2, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 1 to 20, in our case, 1 to several hundred. And that is the next step up, because what this creates, this allows you to create leverage. It helps you make more money as a result of that, because now you're not trading time for money, right? But the challenge here, and this is not going to be an issue for most of you guys until you're getting into, I would say, probably 50 plus clients at a time, okay? Depending on the nature of your delivery. The challenge here is that you are the cog in the wheel. And that means everyone's coming to you. And one of the ways that we work with our clients to avoid this from happening is obviously through what we call a dream come true system, which is how you extract what you do, your proprietary process, and put it into a leveraged automated way of training people, right? So for instance, with our program, HBA, when you come in and work with us, I don't work with you one-on-one. I mean, you do have access to like one-on-one time slots with me, like in office hours, and we have Q&A Thursdays and so forth. And then you have access to all of our other coaches like daily. It's amazing. But here's the thing is you get daily access to me on demand because all of the trainings inside of our online portal I've created, and you can watch them as much as you want. And you're getting like the intel right from the horse's mouth in that fashion. And so that's how we were able to grow HBA and Healthpreneur, really from me just working with clients here and there to starting to scale now one to many. This actually started a number of years ago because I actually had one of my first clients. This was just when I was starting Healthpreneur. And I had not even a client. She was actually a client in my other business. Like she had read my all day fat burning diet book. And then she was really interested in getting some business advice. And I said, listen, like I don't really do one-on-one coaching because I suck at it. So I said, if we can get together a few people, we'll put together a little bit of a mastermind. And that's kind of how it started. So I started off with, it was 1 to 4. It was actually, I kind of bypassed the one-on-one. However, I did the one-on-one 20 years ago. And then I was giving one-on-one consults with people for business stuff over the last couple of years before we started Healthpreneur. So there was that one-on-one foundation, but I quickly realized I didn't want to do that. So we started off as 1 to 4. And then it grew and grew and grew from there. So anyways, you become, the challenge there is that you become the cog in the wheel eventually. And so the highest level up here is really team to many. And what that means is that now you have freedom. And there's really not much downside here because if you build the right team, then they should naturally be as good or better than you in specific parts of your business with respect to the delivery of the coaching. And now your clients get better results and they don't depend on you. And so this is where ultimately I think most coaching businesses should end up at. Because even if you've got a coach who has, several other coaching clients at the same time, they might be running around like a chicken with their head cut off. And that might work for a certain amount of time, but eventually the business is going to break. And so like what we've done is we operate up here, which is team to many. So you get access to an amazing coaching team like on demand, like accountability coaches, mindset coaches, tech coaches, Facebook ad coaches, copy coaches, webinar coaches. Like if I were to try to do all that myself, like it's crazy, right? And the great thing is that let's say that we had a one-on-one relationship and we had the only time available for calls was 2:00 on Tuesdays. Well, what happens if you're not available at 2:00 on Tuesdays? Well, in a team to many type of scenario, when you've got other coaches working with you, now you have opportunities for all sorts of different time slots for people to jump into. As an example, we just brought on a new copy coach. Her name's Pauline, and she's from Australia. She's phenomenal. And because she's in Australia, the time zone is, I think it's about 12 hours or 14 hours difference. And what that means is that now we can offer 2 Webinar Wednesday calls. One of them is run by Nicole, who lives in Connecticut. And so that's Eastern time. Usually happens, I believe, at 1:00 on Wednesdays. And now Pauline, because of the time difference, can run one at, I think, 5:00 Eastern on Wednesdays. So now our clients have 2 choices instead of 1. So let's say they're busy during the day, they can't make the 1:00, they jump onto the 5:00 one. So it actually better serves the clients by having more of that coaching team available to serve them. So this is where, in terms of the path, we start off with 1-to-1, we go to 1-to-many, and then eventually team to many. And this is what, one of the things, again, not if you're interested in doing this, this is kind of the trajectory. But like, again, you have to know how to do that, right? And if you want help with this, one of the first things that we do when we're working with our clients is, number one, we map out your proprietary process. We help you extract what it is you do so that you can document it and show people like you've got a secret sauce, like you have a methodology for what it is you do. And I was talking with my wife. I've talked with my wife about this a lot. I'll give you a great example of why I don't work with her, right? I spoke about this in the last episode, why most partnerships in business are doomed to fail. And, my wife and I don't work together because we're very much the same type of person, right? Both visionary, both want to do our own thing. And she's trying to figure out what she wants to do with her business side of things, once our little guy Julian gets a little bit older. But, she's a very, very good, quote unquote, intuitive coach. Now, that's great and all, but the reality is you can't build a business on that because I'm kind of forecasting what's going to happen. Hey, babe, you're going to do so great. So you're going to have like 20 clients a day. And then you're going to hate it. So you're not going to be able to scale that. And you're going to despise other humans because you're just with them all the time. And so I asked her, I'm like, you need to figure out, even if it's intuitive, like you need to figure out a way where you can document and extract the process by which you work with someone. Now, we have a whole methodology for this. We call it the proprietary process. We teach it in the first module inside of our HBA program, but it's the most important thing you can do, not only to help you map out your leveraged coaching program, but also how you differentiate yourself in the marketplace. Because if you just say you're a nutrition coach, so is everyone else. But if you say that you're so-and-so and you have a methodology that you have mastered and built that no one else has, by the way, because it's your own, now you start to stand out. So from a marketing perspective, it's actually smarter, and a delivery perspective, it's a lot smarter as well. So part of the challenge is, if you've never thought about this, well, like, how do you do that? Again, like, this is something that we help our clients with because it's really, really important. And it's the first step to allowing you to start to build out more of a leveraged coaching program so that you're not the cog in the wheel. Your clients don't rely on you for every single thing. You don't end up burning out because you're doing everything all the time, but you're able to create more freedom in your business. You're able to create more leverage. And listen, if that's something you'd like, we could probably help you. Anyways, you know the drill. Go to workwithyuri.com, workwithyuri.com, answer a few questions on the page to tell us about your business, and then we'll jump on a call. You can schedule a call right on the next page to speak with one of our result coaches. And one of the things we're going to not only help you clarify is your part of like the delivery of your coaching. We'll kind of figure out where that's broken, but we'll also really help you on getting clients coming in the first place, right? Because there's no sense, like, you can't really build a one-to-many or team-to-many program if you've got no clients coming in, right? So the first thing we do is we get clear on where they're going to end up, and then we come back to the start and figure out what the marketing looks like to get those clients in, even if they've never heard of you. And that's what we do every single day with hundreds of clients, and it's just an amazing process. So if you are a health or fitness expert, you have an existing business, you are generating revenue, you are working with clients, and you have some type of offer or program that they have paid you money for, and that's how they've come into your world, and you just are not sure how to grow, how to scale, how to get more clients, how to move from one-to-one to one-to-many, this is what we can help you do, okay? So go to workwithyuri.com, workwithyuri.com. Do that right now, and book in your time to speak with us. Again, it's not a sales pitch, it's a coaching call, really, for the most part. And our goal is not to close you, it's to open a relationship. And if we can help you, and you want our help to do the stuff we talk about, then we can talk about what it looks like to work together. And if not, that's totally fine as well. So that's the deal. All right. So hope you've enjoyed this episode. Hope this little this walkthrough in terms of the diagram and so forth made a lot of sense. And now you've got some things to think about in terms of your delivery, and then how you look at hiring a coach if you're looking to hire one. Anyways, there it is. Hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Ciao.